Welcome to Chicago Bulls News, your go-to source for the latest updates on the Windy City's favorite team. We've got you covered with breaking news, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis of everything Bulls. From United Center to the front office, we're bringing you the inside scoop. Hit subscribe and let's talk Bulls basketball. Today we've got a major bombshell in the NBA world. Jayson Tatum, the Boston Celtics superstar, dropped a huge surprise in a recent interview when he was asked about his thoughts on the current state of the league and which teams he's watching closely. While most fans probably expected him to talk about his own team or maybe the top teams like the Milwaukee Bucks or the Miami Heat, Tatum shocked everyone by picking the Chicago Bulls. That's right, the Chicago Bulls as the team to keep an eye on. So, let's break this down because it's not just a casual comment, it's a big deal for both Tatum and the Bulls, and it could have massive implications for the Eastern Conference moving forward. If you are a true American and proud of it, show your support by hitting that subscribe button. Let's start together, keep the spirit alive. Now, we all know Tatum has been a pivotal figure for the Celtics over the past few years. He's an all-NBA talent, a perennial MVP candidate, and the player Boston has built its future around. But for him to throw support behind the Chicago Bulls, a team that's struggled to find consistency in recent years, is something no one was expecting. The Bulls have had their ups and downs this season, no doubt. They've had some exciting moments, but they've also faced plenty of challenges. Injuries have plagued key players like Lonzo Ball, and at times, it's felt like they couldn't quite find their rhythm. But despite those struggles, the Bulls have always had a roster full of talent. With guys like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, Chicago has a foundation that could become something special. And it's this very potential that seems to have caught the attention of Tatum. When we look at the Bulls roster, it's clear they have all the pieces to make a serious push in the Eastern Conference. LaVine is one of the most explosive scoring guards in the league, a two-time dunk contest champion who can light it up from anywhere on the court. DeRozan, known for his deadly mid-range game and clutch performances, has been one of the most consistent scorers in the league for years. Vucevic, a skilled center who can stretch the floor and dominate inside, adds the depth the team needs. When this trio is on their game, the Bulls are capable of beating anyone. But the problem has always been consistency. At times, it feels like they're just a few pieces away from being real contenders in the East. Maybe Tatum sees that, and that's why he picked them. After all, this isn't just about recognizing talent. Tatum has always been about evaluating teams with a keen eye for what could work in the future. Maybe he sees something in Chicago that the rest of the league is overlooking. Tatum's words are interesting because, for a player of his stature, it's not just about throwing praise around. He has a deep understanding of the game, and he doesn't give compliments unless they're earned. So, when Tatum singles out the Bulls as a team to watch, it's a statement that carries weight. Is he simply acknowledging their potential, or is there something more at play here? Could he be hinting that Chicago is one of the teams to watch out for in the coming seasons, particularly as they continue to build around their core? The Eastern Conference has always been competitive, with the Celtics, Bucks, and Heat leading the pack, but could the Bulls soon be joining that mix? Tatum's pick is a reminder that the NBA landscape is always shifting, and what we thought was set in stone may not be for long. With some smart moves in the offseason and a little bit of luck, the Bulls could rise up as a real threat. But let's talk about why this could be even more significant for Tatum himself. We know that Tatum is one of the brightest stars in the NBA, but his endorsement of the Bulls could be an indication that he sees Chicago as a team that will be challenging for championships sooner rather than later. Tatum is under contract with the Celtics for a few more years, but in today's NBA, nothing is certain. The league has seen more and more superstars making moves in free agency or via trade, and while it may seem out of left field to talk about Tatum leaving Boston anytime soon, his comments could signal that he's keeping an eye on other teams like Chicago. Could he eventually join forces with LaVine, DeRozan, and Vucevic to form a new powerhouse? While this might sound like a far-fetched idea, we've seen stranger things happen in the NBA. Let's be clear, there's no indication that Tatum is leaving Boston anytime soon, and he remains the franchise cornerstone for the Celtics. But there's a reason why his comments are so significant. Players like Tatum are always thinking about the future, and by picking the Bulls, he's giving us a glimpse of what could be coming down the road. Perhaps he sees the Bulls as a team on the rise, one that could challenge the Celtics for Eastern Conference supremacy in a few years. Maybe he's aware of the talent they have, and he respects the direction they're headed. And even if Tatum doesn't leave Boston, his comments could inspire the Bulls to make moves of their own, pushing them toward their goal of becoming a top-tier team. What's next for the Chicago Bulls? Well, that's the million-dollar question. While they have the talent to compete, they need to take that next step. They've got the stars, but they need to put it all together. Their front office has been active in making moves to improve the roster, and with Tatum's endorsement, the Bulls could feel even more motivated to push for a championship window in the next few seasons. The NBA is a league where timing is everything, and for the Bulls, this could be the moment they need to capitalize on the momentum they've built. With Tatum's comments stirring up excitement, Chicago's management will likely be more focused than ever on solidifying their team and making sure they're in a position to contend. But what does all this mean for the Celtics? Well, while Tatum's comments might be seen as a vote of confidence for the Bulls, they also serve as a reminder that the Eastern Conference is stacked with competition. Boston has long been considered one of the top teams in the East, but with the rise of teams like Milwaukee, Miami, and now Chicago, the Celtics will have their hands full. Tatum is no stranger to competition, he thrives in it, but the landscape of the East is shifting, and Boston will need to continue evolving if they want to stay at the top. At the end of the day, Tatum's comments are a reminder of the unpredictability of the NBA. Players like him are always thinking about the big picture. He's not just watching the game, he's studying it. And by singling out the Bulls, he's given us a glimpse into what he sees as a team with a lot of potential. Whether this means anything more or not remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, the Chicago Bulls are a team that the league will be watching closely in the coming seasons. So, what do you think? Was Tatum's pick just a casual comment, or do you believe there's something more to it? Could the Bulls be a real contender in the East? And do you think Tatum will ever find himself playing alongside LaVine and DeRozan in Chicago? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. If you're as excited as I am about this potential shift in the Eastern Conference, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NBA news and updates. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.